Hello, Awesome Soul here, and I hope you all had a very, very happy Christmas, or a happy Hanukkah, or whatever else you happen to celebrate this time of year. I know I certainly did, and I took a break from my usual upload schedule because, well, family and holiday stress and all that jazz. It was fairly busy, but fairly enjoyable. So I guess that's kind of the question of the day. What interesting thing did you happen to get? Post that down below. I personally got some very, very fancy looking clothes. Now, when I was younger, I wasn't really all that into getting clothes for Christmas, but this time around, I don't know, I felt like a change, and I specifically asked for clothing, and I'm very happy I did, because I have a rather fancy looking wardrobe, possibly. I don't know. Anyway, I think it looks nice. But that's not exactly why you're here. You're here for the news. Now, I'm sure some of you have probably seen this already. It is slightly late, but of course, I took a break for Christmas. What can you do? I figured I'd go through it though and give my thoughts on it, and for those who haven't seen it, this will be your first exposure to it. And this bit of news is the present that has been showing up in Robocraft. What exactly is inside it? Now we know. It is indeed a brand new weapon cosmetic skin, which I personally am actually very happy about. I'm sure some of you out there probably aren't too happy. They were thinking it was a weapon. I personally was expecting it to be the mortar that was talked about 2 months ago, I believe, at this point. Yeah, a little over 2 months, actually. So it was mentioned in passing in one of the Robo News articles, sort of in the bottom section. And we were like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then, well, it's not happening. Or is it? Because down at the bottom, it reads, these new gun variants will be unwrapped with all presents Thursday, the 5th, which is January, obviously, as stated earlier. Before that time, though, new presents will still be dropping, and you can still forge them. We will also have more information about these new weapons and other Robocraft news after the new year. So we could also be getting something else different. Now, my little theory here is that originally they were trying to get the mortar out for Christmas, but then they decided to get these out instead. As I'm sure you saw last episode, there was the whole 5 new cosmetics are ready and able to be shipped out. We just need the time to do it. That was obviously said by Rick the Art Jammer, head of the art team, obviously. So what they could have done is perhaps they didn't have the code right. Everything was not quite up to the quality they wanted for the mortar, and I guess they just didn't get it out, so they put these instead. Now, really the only evidence I have for this, obviously this is wild speculation, I just want to make that clear. Now, if you do look at the presents, the hitboxes of them are very odd. They only have one connection point at the very bottom, and not only that, they're completely round, which is in itself very odd. But the main thing is their CPU value. It's definitely nothing like, well, the plasma, which could also lead to something, which is also a little bit of a speculation as well. The way they've worded this is that they're saying these new weapons. They specifically say these new weapons, not new cosmetic weapons. So is the carbon plasma going to be different? And for that matter, are all of the existing carbon parts going to be different? So the carbon thrusters and the carbon SMGs, will they be different? Well, only time will tell. I'm honestly not so sure. Most likely, it's still going to be just a cosmetic difference, as well as a projectile difference. Thing here, though, is, if you remember back when they had it was the pirate-themed event, I forget exactly what it was called, but they had the special cannonball projectile. Is that what we're going to be seeing fired from this? Because if that's the case, then maybe the mortar that they were talking about is simply the carbon-6 plasma. I really doubt that. Now, I know this got a bit too speculatory for my personal taste, so all the official news that we have, rather, is simply that we are getting the Carbon 6 Plasma Devastator and the Carbon 6 Plasma Goliathan, which, of course, as I said earlier, I've seen some people happy about and some people negative about. They were expecting a new weapon, but I'm actually looking forward to this. I really do like Mega Plasma as a weapon. It's one of my favorites, and I've always disliked the way it looks. The weapon itself, you know, playstyle, that's a lot of fun, but just the whole arc, like the semi-circle ring thing, it always bugged me how that stuck out way too much. And this most likely alleviates that. I'm not sure how far this is going to stick out, but at the very least, the sort of, I don't know what to call it, the shield part of it, it looks a lot better, which I'm all for. Another thing to note here is that this only has one barrel, as opposed to the 2 barrel that the current Mega Plasma has, or the Plasma Goliathan, because previously, if you have been keeping up with Robocraft, it was obviously Mega Plasma before. This is when Megabots were still a thing, and then the reason it has 2 barrels is because it would actually fire 2 plasma volleys. So the way it worked was it would fire 1, and then randomly it would have a delay of 0.5 or 1 second or 1.5 seconds. Actually, I think it was sort of in a scale between 0.5 and 1.5, sort of in that time frame. So if you had a whole bunch of these on a Megabot, it would be an insane barrage. Unfortunately, though, that version of the weapon wasn't really that potent. The current version is definitely worth the CPU investment. The old version, not so much. It was cool and unique, but other than that, it was very underwhelming. So I'm glad we have the new and improved plasma. So there's my little spiel on the new Carbon 6 plasma. Let me know what you guys think of it. Hopefully you like the look of it. I'm sure it will go over well with many fans of plasma. And I guess you can do some speculation of your own. What exactly do you think the other news will be that they're talking about in the next sort of news article coming out before the 5th of January? And real quick here, to finish this off, just a reminder that the 20% off sale is still going on, so if you would like to pick up some bundles on the cheap, you got your Steam sales, all of the spooky bundles, high flyer bundles, that sort of stuff. You got your Premium for Life is actually decently cheap now. It's only $40 as opposed to $50. That's actually a pretty good deal. And obviously individual premium membership as well, and then you've got your crates. So if that interests any of you, go for it, I guess. I still have a lot of premium myself, so I'm not quite sure if I will be buying it. I still have probably 120 by now days of premium on my account. That's mainly from buying all those bundles back in the day. You could actually get a boatload of premium time off of those from like the Overwolf packs and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I guess that will wrap the video up. There wasn't really a whole lot to talk about, but you know, I figured I'd get a nice little video out post-Christmas. So as stated previously, let me know how your Christmas went, or Hanukkah, or any other holiday, like I said. And then thoughts on the plasma, thoughts on what else we could possibly be seeing in the next update. And yeah, that will wrap the video up. I, of course, have been the Awesome Soul. I thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.